28th, 2016. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Well, we had announced last week that Mitsubishi was going to have a press conference on Tuesday of this week to talk about the auto emissions scandal. They had the press conference all right. At the press conference, the president of the Japanese car maker admitted to manipulating emissions data since 1991 for 25 years. The company president told reporters that the probe was ongoing, suggesting that even more irregularities might be found. He said, "We don't know the whole picture, and we are in the process of trying to determine that. I feel a great responsibility." The president said so much was unknown that it was uncertain what action the company would take. He said he didn't know why employees resorted to such tactics to make mileage look better. The inaccurate mileage tests involved about 160,000 of its EK wagon and EK Spacelight passenger cars and about 468,000 cars produced for Nissan Motor. It was Nissan Motor who initially pointed out the inconsistencies in the data. The Insurance Council of Texas is coming in with just about the final tallies for the massive hailstorms that hit the state in the first few months of this year. They're saying insured losses are expected to exceed $2.6 billion. Numbers reported by the council revealed that grapefruit-sized hailstones that pounded San Antonio were expected to cost insurers about $1.36 billion. Automobile losses are predicted to be about $560 million, while damage to homes and businesses is expected to be in the neighborhood of $800 million. The storm struck on the evening of April 12th, just as insurers were reeling from two significant hail events the previous month. On the 16th of March in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, about $600 million of insured claims were reported from hailstorms there, and then on the 23rd of March near Plano, another storm that incurred about $700 million in insured losses struck. Allstate Insurance warned last week that it expects to absorb an $827 million hit to its first quarter results stemming from the hailstorms in Texas. XL Group, which is the combined entity of XL Catlin, reported their first quarter earnings. They missed Wall Street estimates. The business insurer's operating earnings were about $103 million or 35 cents a share, down from about $194 million compared to the first quarter last year, well short of the 50 cents per share consensus from Wall Street analysts. Last year, XL acquired Catlin Group in a $4.1 billion deal. The company said that integration costs related to that merger totaled about $55 million for the first quarter of this year. During the analyst call, Mike McGavick, the CEO of XL Catlin, was questioned about the merit of the merger, with some analysts asking whether or not the synergies would ever be seen. It's a little bit of an unfair question considering the merger just occurred a year ago. Mr. McGavick strongly defended the synergies involved in combining the two companies and predicted that eventually, sooner rather than later, the company will be a powerhouse. There's a capsizing ferry right now in the port of Piraeus, which is the main port for Athens in Greece. The staff and firefighters are rushing to try to save the vessel. It's a 40-year-old ship that weighs 5,500 tons. It had been docked in the port of Piraeus for a number of months due to financial difficulties with its current owners, the Ventura Sea Lines. The history of the ferry is somewhat lengthy. It was built in 1972, and it operated as a ferry on the English Channel route between Folkestone and Boulogne until 1991, when it was sold to the Greek owners. Ford Motor Company's net income more than doubled to $2.5 billion in Q1 as strong sales of trucks and SUVs pushed North American sales to record levels. This is a big benefit of cheap gasoline. It was an all-time record for any quarter. Worldwide sales rose 10% to 1.7 million. Demands for SUVs and trucks was insatiable in North America, offsetting a 29% dip in sales in Brazil and weaker sales in Africa and the Middle East. Meanwhile, in North Korea, a suspected powerful intermediate-range North Korean missile crashed just seconds after liftoff earlier today. This would be the second such embarrassing failure in recent weeks. Today's failure is particularly embarrassing to the leader, Kim Jong-un. There's a major Communist Party meeting next week, in which Mr. Jong-un is believed to want to put his stamp more forcefully on the government he inherited back in 2011 after his father died. The launch was likely the second attempted test of a Musadan missile, an intermediate-range missile that has a range of about 2,600 miles. The failed launch comes amidst North Korean anger over annual South Korea-U.S. military exercises. The North has fired many missiles and artillery shells into the sea to signal their displeasure. North Korean officials indicate that there was a missile launch on April 15th, the birthday of the North's late founder, Kim Il-sung. Intelligence sources say that test was also a failure. Facebook came out with Q1 results earlier this week. They were astounding, blockbuster results, very big deals. If you dig through the fine print, though, there were some interesting facts. Mark Zuckerberg, the Facebook founder and the CEO, is the fourth richest person in the United States. Zuckerberg, of course, has a security detail because presumably he's a target. According to Facebook, there have been specific threats made against him. The company has instituted security measures in Zuckerberg's personal residences, plural, and paid for his security personnel. He also has a private airplane that's been provided to him as part of the security program. All told, these costs now exceed more than $5 million annually. Facebook's annual or quarterly report also indicated that they have begun to provide security for Sheryl Sandberg as well, who is the chief financial officer. She has security details that cost about $1.3 million. The company did not say whether she gets a plane as well, but I don't think you'll be seeing her flying on United. That's the news for today. We were in London for the past few days. Interesting developments over there. As will come to light, we'll be happy to report them to you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.